let's make this quick because we have dogs that are tearing up the apartment.
Should we say hello?
Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Shawnee.
And I am Matt. We are the Sotos, and we like books.
Yay.
That's about it. See you later. So we just kind of wanted to, we wanted to start this channel because we both like books. We both love books. We've loved books since before we got married. While we were dating, all we talked about was books. Not all we talked about, but a lot of what we talked about was books. And we don't really have a lot of friends in real life that talk about books. We have friends, good, but we don't have friends that talk about books or read the same books that we do. And so we just kind of wanted to start conversations and maybe try to build a community and just have conversations about books and post videos and have fun and I don't know.
I was just reminded about
Something to do.
at the Super Bowl whenever we were talking to one of our friends about the Wheel of Time series, and it was like our first friend that we had to talk about like fantasy style books.
At the Super Bowl?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
We didn't go to what Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl party that we went to.
Oh. Okay, you said Super Bowl, not Super Bowl party. Okay.
Obviously, we didn't
I'm confused. Okay, so today we just kind of wanted to, so this is our first video, in case you could not tell. We wanted to talk over our recent reads, our current reads, maybe upcoming reads, and you know, just get some conversations started. And so, what have you been reading recently?
So, recently I have been reading this series. So the second book of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, Court and Mist of Fury, is the second book. I'm almost halfway through it, if you can see my bookmark here. Then I'm in the first chapter of this one. So this is we have the physical book of this, but the Kindle also, so I've been kind of reading this one on my lunch breaks. So I just started it this past week, obviously not very much because I get distracted doing other things sometimes on my lunch break. And I'm also listening to the Audible of
A Storm of Swords?
This is why I had to pull up my Goodreads. A Storm of Swords, yes. It's the third book of the Game of Thrones series. So I got through both of these so far this year. So I'm on the third one of this series. And then The Knowledge of the Holy is a book. Is that like
That's way too
washed
bright.
out?
Yeah. It's Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer.
Tozer
right?
is amazing, yes. But his insights are kind of thick. So even though it is a little book, I'm taking a while to go through it so I can chew on his ideas rather than just being like, oh yeah, I read this, but kind of retain some of it and think through the aspects of what he's talking about and the holiness of God. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm currently reading in, I guess, all except for the Tozer book, our series, and so I'm kind of in the middle of a bunch of different worlds right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. So this year I've read... I'm at 13 books right now. I've been reading a lot of manga for the first time this year. Oh
yeah.
I've been reading... She just whispered, oh yeah!
I forgot that.
So I'm reading Berserk, Beastars, Spy Family, and I Am a Hero. This is a great zombie manga. It's been really fun. Haven't got around to getting the third omnibus yet, but I've really enjoyed it. One manga that she's been reading, you can go ahead, Shaw.
That's why I said, oh yeah, I was like, I forgot, I started reading manga this year too. This is Orange, so I believe there's two of them and then like a third, like there's two collections and then there's like a third like mini,
like a little mini volume, standalone type thing?
So I read the first one, getting right into it, I was like, I don't know, it was my first manga, and this is like a high school setting, so I was like, I don't know if I like it, and then about a third of the way through, once like the plot kind of got in the way, like after the characters had developed and been introduced, because there's like 6 main characters, but I don't know, so manga's kind of fun, it's different, something I've never done, that Matt kind of put in my mind that I wanted to read.
Same with anime too, right?
Yeah, I watched my first anime with Matt after we got married. We started it before.
We started it before we got married, and we finished it after we got married. It's Attack on Titan. We didn't finish it. We caught up.
We thought it was going to be finished.
We thought it was finished, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. That's another video. So for me, what I'm currently reading, well, actually finished. I'm rereading Harry Potter right now. because the last time I read Harry Potter, I was in the 5th grade, and I actually never finished the 7th book. I haven't seen the last 2 movies either, and I know that's preposterous, fake fan, yada yada, whatever. So I'm in my reread. I finished The Chamber of Secrets last night. Soon I will be picking up The Prisoner of Azkaban, book 3. I'm also in the middle of Foundation by Isaac Asimov.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, we do this really cute thing where I read this out loud while we're laying in bed, and it's adorable, and if you're single, I know probably annoying.
He's my live version of Audible. As you can tell, like his voice is amazing.
Stop.
And so when he reads out loud, it's just... And then whenever I listen to other audiobooks, I'm like, yeah, it's good. Like, they may be British or something, but I just prefer when Matt reads out loud.
They may be British or something.
I don't know. Like, maybe they're not British. I'm not very good with accents.
Yeah, I hate accents. I'm not very good at accents either. But, yeah, I think my voice is okay. Maybe not at this distance with this mic and whatever, but I think my voice is okay. So, since I finished this one, I think before I get to Prisoner of Azkaban, I'm also reading the Percy Jackson series, and I've got this audiobook checked out from the library. This is The Sea of Monsters, the 2nd book, and I don't know how far into it. I'm 30% of the way, I know that. So gonna finish that probably this week. And then for my next main read, I'm trying to decide between Jade War, the 2nd book in the Greenbone saga. I finished that last month and then passed it on to her.
Yay, thanks.
And so I want to read this at some point soon. I've also been slowly chugging away at The Wheel of Time.
Oh, yeah.
That is a huge series, a big undertaking for both of us. We both wanted to read it because of the series that came out. We actually watched the series while we were on our honeymoon, like watching it on the plane with subtitles and everything. And it was fun. I enjoyed the show, but I don't really have a good frame of reference as far as accuracy to the source material and like holding true to the author's ideals and whatever. I'm sure they changed a lot of things, and I'm sure hardcore fans of The Wheel of Time aren't happy with it, but I was happy with the show. It was great. So the next book for me is The Dragon Reborn, if you can see that.
That's the one I'm on too, right? We're on the same...
Yeah, we're tied in The Wheel of Time. So either Jade War, Dragon Reborn, or The Shadow of the Gods. I downloaded the sample of this on my Kindle, like when this book was first released, but got distracted with other reads and never actually spent time reading that. So now I want to get into this because the 2nd book is out and people are talking about that, and I have an interest in Vikings. I'm not obsessed with Vikings, but I think Vikings are pretty cool. They can be pretty
Gnarly.
Yeah, we'll say gnarly. I wanted to use a different word, but I want to be family friendly. They're pretty gnarly. They can be pretty brutal. And I love those types of stories. I love this book cover. I love the book cover of the 2nd one.
Yeah.
And so if you know anything about this one, yeah, look at this cover. Like the dragon.
I love that they extended it to the back rather than
that's
just
so
cutting it
cool.
off.
That's great design.
Yeah.
That's someone used their brain. That's for sure.
I love whenever I see things like this when you said like somebody used their brain. I'm like, I would love to sit on meetings like this. This may have been like a 5-minute portion of the meeting, but when they talked about let's extend the dragon to the back of the book rather than cutting it off at the front or on the spine. Like, just great ideas that I hope somebody got
just little details.
good recognition for.
Little details that make so much difference. So that's where I'm at with reading right now. I don't really have a set number goal that I want to read this year so far, or at this moment. So far I've read 13. I think what I have in my Goodreads is 30, but I'll probably surpass that, including manga volumes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have mine set at 25 right now, and I'm at 10. What else have I read besides these current series? Dune. I started Dune last year, and I finished it this year. I don't know if it's just because it's more sci-fi than it was fantasy, but I didn't love Dune as much as I wanted to. I feel like everybody, hyped it up for the movie, and everybody loved the movie, and we watched the movie, and I felt like the pacing was way too fast on the movie. Yes, visually, it was good. I loved the score. I love movie scores, and that one has an amazing one. I think it won an Oscar for it. Is that right? An Oscar?
I think.
Is that the right award?
Yeah.
So that was great, but just like I feel like the pacing was way too fast. But then I decided to finally finish the book, and I wasn't super into it. So I don't know if it was just because it was sci-fi or not. There is another sci-fi book that I want to read. I don't know if I'll get to it this year or not. So we'll see if maybe that's just the issue. Maybe that's not my genre. The Midnight Library. We both read that this year so far. That one's amazing. It really brings an insight to, I guess, your mental state and how you're viewing your life and the comparison that you have towards others and what you think that you might want versus what you have, and having the content, not being content, but finding joy in what you have, and knowing that there is joy and contentment while seeking to grow into greater things and moving along in your life. Talks about depression and anxieties, pressures from like just your friends, your family, social life, and how that all can impact your desires and what you're wanting. But I really like The Midnight Library.
If you haven't read The Midnight Library, it's definitely a good read. It's a quick read. I mean, it flew by for me. And I really enjoyed it. By Matt Haig, I think is his name.
That's right.
We can pop a picture up on the screen. Boom.
Bing.
Well, now I have to put it right there.
Well, there's like a space right here.
Do you want to talk about like our background in reading, like our favorite authors and how we got started?
Yeah, so we're obsessively all two of us, reading multiple books right now. And I never did that until college. So I would read a book and finish a book and then read another book and then read and finish it and then read another book. And I think that's because I had to check them out from the library. I grew up in small towns, and so I didn't have access to go to bookstores. Sure, I could order books online, and I just told Matt this week, it's like the first book that I ever ordered from Barnes & Noble. It was The Scarlet Letter, because I needed it for something that I was doing for UIL in school. And I guess they didn't have it in the library. It's weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, but whenever I got in college, I was majoring in English, and so I would take 4 to 5 classes at a time, and they would be like, okay, read this book. We'll discuss it in a week or a week and a half. So I was having to read multiple books in a week. And I was like, for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, how am I going to do this? And I would have to learn how to read faster. I normally don't read super fast because I love, like, seeping into the book, you know, like a bag of tea. And just, like, enjoying it fully and, like, thoroughly. Whenever, like, there's fight scenes or something fast happening, I do find myself reading faster.
Yeah.
But, so in college, I had to read fast, and I was having to read multiple books at a time. And then there were some books that I just wanted to read for enjoyment, but I was still having to read for class. And then after I graduated from college, I found myself, whenever I was picking up for reading for enjoyment, I was picking up multiple books at a time. I can't, or I could, but I haven't since college. I've been able to like pick up a book, finish it, pick up another book, finish it. Like I have been reading multiple books since college.
Yeah, I think the reason that I read multiple books now is because I'm just obsessed with like consuming as much as I can. Like, okay, I want a little bit of the Percy Jackson universe, I want a little bit of Greenbone, and I want Harry Potter, and I want all of those. Like, I might be like, I mean, because the problem that you run into is like, the only book that I'm reading right now is Percy Jackson, but I want to read right now in this moment, but I don't want to read Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
So then, like, that gives you variety, and you can read anything. You set yourself up for options, and you don't lock yourself down into one book.
It's like reading Spotify, right? You have these multiple options, and it's like, yeah, sure, you love August Burns Red, but you don't want to listen to them every single day. Yeah. Like, we were listening to the band Camino earlier, and like, you just have a different variety of like, what am I in the mood for right now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. I would consider it healthy. Definitely in different aspects of your life, but that's not what this channel is about. So for me, I grew up when I was when I was in elementary school. I loved reading. I read The Magic Tree House, Hank the Cowdog.
Yeah.
What was his name? Something about a mouse. Geronimo Stilton. Oh yeah, that was my guy. That was like early elementary, and then mid elementary was I forget the name of the series, but it's by I can't remember the author's name either. But it's a story about a kid who has this ability to hold onto a baseball card or a football card, and he teleports to that time period. And so he that books are called like Babe and Me for Babe Ruth, or like Mickey and Me for Mickey Mantle, Jackie and Me for Jackie Robinson. I can't remember what. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. I have Google later. So editing, Matt, go ahead and put it somewhere on the screen. Thank you. And then in 5th grade is whenever I discovered Harry Potter, and I mean that's all I would do. I would go home and I read Harry Potter for like my whole 5th grade year. And then when I got into middle school, 6th grade, that's whenever they started to require reading. Like, these are the books that you're going to read. These are the only books you're going to read. We're going to take tests over them, and you're going to have to write reports and yada yada. And I did not like that at all, because the books that they chose were always boring. No one died, and there was like romance stuff, and I'm not about that. Like, I need action, I need death, I need blood, I need gore, I need like that's just me.
And I grew up like craving, like loving the literary fiction stuff, because like I went to like, I guess just in high school, mostly this high school that I was in, it was a small town, sports focused, and I wanted like them to tell me, read this book, this is great. And I was having to seek that stuff out on my own, like literary fiction, and that's all that I read for a while. Like in middle school, I was reading fantasy. I read Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like 5th grade, 6th grade, and then middle school, we had a reading class in middle school. I think we talked about that. You did too. And they made us read stuff like the Hatchet. I don't know why I remember that one. Did you ever read that?
I think so.
Like a little boy that was stuck on the island, and all he had was a hatchet or something to survive.
I remember that.
But anyways, I'm unlike him. I was craving the literary fiction stuff, and then he brought me back into like the world of reading fantasy. Once we started dating, he was showing me all his books. I was like, I feel so behind, like in this world. I've been reading fiction and literary fiction for so long, and so now I'm like back immersed into this world. I'm like, I want to read all the things.
So it wasn't like that for me. Like from middle school through college, I was not a reader, but I was always fascinated by books. Like, I would go to Barnes & Noble and spend an hour of a day just looking at books, buying books, and never reading books. But now I would like to consider that I actually read books. Just I buy a lot more than I read, which, I mean, that's a common problem for readers.
Yeah.
You probably resonate with that. So 1 year after college, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start reading again. And I wanted to read 12 books in that year, just one book a month. That seemed pretty doable. And I ended up reading 20 books that year. And so, I mean, I just instantly fell back in love with reading. The book that did it for me was The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. He's become my favorite author. I don't think you can see it. It's above Shawnee's head. It's up there. You can't see it.
I can grab it.
She's gonna grab it. He I would consider him is my favorite author. This book is the one that got me back into it. It's a chunker. It was intimidating, but you know what? We did it, and now we have a reading habit. And like, you know, to me, it's my favorite hobby that I have. It's great for relaxing. It's great for unwinding. I mean, there's so many different reasons to read, and I'm so glad that I've like rediscovered reading, so to speak. I don't know where I would or what I would do if I didn't have books. I'd probably spend a lot more time playing video games. But yeah, I mean, I've really been enjoying reading. I'm really looking forward to getting to chat with you guys about books.
Yeah.
I've been loving getting to talk to her about books, and we've been married for 5 months, and it's just been so much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we look forward to chatting with you guys about books, and I mean, we plan on posting videos like monthly wrap-ups, or maybe if we have a big book haul, which probably won't happen because budgets, you know, if we really like a book or we really hate a book, we'll probably do a book review about it. Maybe
when we finish a book.
Yeah, when we finish a book, we'll. I mean, there's so many ways to go about this, and that'll be the main focus of the channel. We'll probably talk about some movies, some TV shows, and some other stuff that we enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy as well. I'm not really sure exactly what to expect out of this. We're just kind of doing this for fun and just creative outlet for us, and yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, sounds good. I mean, especially with, you said TV shows and movies, if they're book inspired, we'll talk about them. Like we mentioned the Wheel of Time series. Yeah, we just want to have fun doing this. We want to engage with people that like the same things that we do, like books.
Yeah. Yeah. And I might also sneak in a video about music every once in a while, because I really like music, and I could talk about it for hours. So
he's teaching me to listen to music in a new way.
Which, that being said, I might need to start my own channel for music. But
a whole separate
whatever.
thing.
We'll cross that bridge if we need to. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to keep talking with us. Leave a like, comment. Please be nice.
Give us book suggestions if you have one that we didn't mention
suggestions.
now, and maybe we've read them, maybe we haven't, maybe it's in our TBR, but yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.